Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. Mortal Engines flops at the US box office and I'm shocked. I am genuinely shocked. Not because I think this is an amazing film, but I want you to think about something. This is, not the director, right? But everyone else on this production literally developed six Lord of the Ring films. 3 Lords of the Ring films and 3 Hobbit movies, right? These are people that have created iconic films. And when I think about this film, Mortal Engines, it astonishes me because this is a film with very unremarkable characters. That's the problem. This is, if you want to see a film which is representative of modern day Hollywood, this is it. It's a film that looks absolutely stunning. The VFX is beautiful. Everything is good, apart from what should be good, that should kind of suck you in, is the story and the characters. It is just not done in the right way. And to think these are the people behind Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies is astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. When I first saw the first trailer and you hear Peter Jackson's name, you assume, wow, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be another Lord of the Rings. Of course, Peter doesn't direct it. They make sure they don't tell you that. Of course, in small writing, you know who the director is. But literally, Peter Jackson and his people developed this movie. They wrote the screenplay. They wrote the story. It's an adaptation. Look, it isn't a particular... Apart from the villain, right? Apart from the villain, the rest of the cast are not a particularly strong cast. Neither in reputation or acting ability. Yeah, they can being able to splurt out a line and making an expression on your face isn't acting. I went to bloody RADA, for Christ's sake. I should know. I'm not a successful actor. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I've been trained in the arts, and you know, I know what's good acting and what's not, what's natural ability and what's false. And the reality is here, Peter Jackson put in front of the camera people who should never have been in front of the camera. And this really is about Hollywood's diversity rules and their ideology. This film sums up ideology over content. So you've got a female lead, but it ain't a particularly interesting female lead. I don't believe in her. I don't believe in the people around her. I don't believe in the pretty boy who's with her, right? I don't believe in any of this. I'm not sucked in by this story. And it was interesting to me being in a screening with other people who were there to kind of review the film, to take down notes. And it's interesting, really, when you've got people with studio people and you kind of don't want to be blatant that you're going to give a crap review, but you can see the people kind of feeling a bit uncomfortable because this film isn't a good movie. It isn't, I would say it's a terrible movie. It looks great, but that's it. Yeah, the production qualities, like they are with every Hollywood film, are beautiful, right? All films nowadays look great. I should really do a video doing movies, past versus present. I wanted to do that the other day, and I just want to talk about why. And I sound like an old man. Gee, in my day, things were better. But I think, I said it to someone else, right? The guy who directed The Incredibles, Incredibles 2, Mission Impossible, right? One of the Mission Impossible films as well. He put a picture up of all the films coming out next year, and he goes, now take away all the sequels and reboots. Now, this is a guy working in the industry. Hollywood is, in this modern day, is an industry without any imagination, lazy creatively, and overly political, right? That is a dangerous mix. Not for us, but for them. Because we've got our Blu-ray connection, we've got our 4Ks, we've got our old VHSs. We can do what we want. We don't need them. Because mostly what they're giving us is very ordinary and very mediocre. And this is what this film is. And this film is mixed in with their laziness, with their ideology, and this film is the duck that doesn't hunt. Hollywood is about nepotism. It's about ideology. It's about everything that's wrong in the real world. And when you put that in in trying to entertain people. You see, the thing is with Hollywood, at least when I was growing up, their first thought was, their mentality was, if we give them what they want to see, they'll pay for it and we'll make money from it. It was easy. It was an easy deal. That'd be $5.99, please. Thank you very much. We'll take it because you're giving us something we want. But the problem is now, the mentality is arrogance, it's self-indulgence, it's ideology, it's politics. This is exactly what went wrong with The Last Jedi. This is their mentality. This film flopping shouldn't be a surprise to me, but it was, because I felt with Peter Jackson's name on it, we would have at least got a solid hit. But again, this is another issue. Everyone's gone after Aquaman this year. They've all tried to release at the same time. Now, Warner Brothers, for some reason, wanted to release this time of the year. They didn't want to be in the summer. They obviously wanted to avoid Infinity War and Ant-Man in the Wasp, even though I think if Aquaman went head-to-head with Ant-Man and the Wasp, it probably would have won. But they wanted the major box office, right? So what happened is everyone went after them, not just Disney, but Disney and Fox tried to do it with the friendly cut of Deadpool 2, because it literally is Deadpool 2. We know Mary Poppins, The Return. That's tried to go after Aquaman's box office as well. It's not going to happen. Aquaman is going to come in huge. But all these studios have actually come out at releasing these big films at the same time, and it just hasn't worked. The best thing to do in this industry is avoid each other. Don't clash with each other, because films are quite expensive to watch now. By the time you pay for the actual tickets, right, and the confectionery and your popcorn and your drink, you could be talking about $30, $40, quid or whatever currency you're working in. It's an expensive business, and ultimately people who don't have much money have to choose from one film to the other. Sadly, some of us are lucky enough to be able to go and see every film we want to see. And, that's great for us, but not great for people who can't afford it. So these studios haven't thought this through. They've seen Aquaman and they think, if we can kill off this franchise dead now, we lose a competitor. But what's happened is that Warner Brothers have been so clever about the scheduling of releasing this internationally, then making the Americans wait while watching the success abroad, knowing that will make the audiences in America more hungry to see it. Aquaman has been the perfect storm, and these other studios' aggression to try and knock it dead has come back to haunt it, which I find quite hilarious. So even though I'm surprised Mortal Engines was a failure, we should have all seen it coming in terms of the quality of the movie, the story, the characters just being cardboard, basically. But as I say, the surprise is when you've got Peter Jackson and his team making this level of mediocrity, I would say ideology and politics makes mediocrity of us all.